Let's keep the good times rolling. We do have a showcase winner. We have Sean Burke joining us from Australia. His website is the Public Infrastructure Directory. I believe he launched on BD in 2018, and he's joining us here from Australia. Let me unmute your microphone, Sean, and we could take a visit to your site as well. How you doing today, Sean?
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Fantastic. What part of Australia are you from?
I'm from Sydney on the East Coast.
Okay, great. So yeah, did you launch this site earlier this year on BD?
Yeah, the site was launched in April this year, but we had been developing it in the back half of last year.
Okay, great. And so can you tell us a little bit about what the purpose of this site is, who the users are, what some of your goals are with the site?
Sure. So the users are public sector engineers and procurement departments, people who build bridges, pipelines, freeways, all those sort of public structures.
Right.
At the moment, in Australia, to find suppliers to build big public works, you need to go to multiple different siloed sites. So if you're building a bridge, you need to go and find a concrete supplier on one directory. You need to go and find pylon drivers, another directory. You need to go and find road layers, another directory. So finding the right suppliers for we're a membership organisation for members can be quite a chore. So what we've done is develop a site that enables you to find all the different specialties suppliers that you require to build a certain project all in one find. So rather than looking at 5 different sites, you come here, say, I'm building a bridge, you tell the system you're building a bridge, and it will give you all the different suppliers in your area who you may need to build that bridge. Once you've found those suppliers, it shortlists them for you, and then you can attach those suppliers to a project listed in your profile. So you set up a project in your profile, and then you attach your suppliers to that project. So you've got them all in one place. From there, you can make notes, private notes against each supplier. You can attach documents. You can attach quotes. Communicate with your suppliers, and then once the project's finished, you can archive it again. So if you have a repeat project, you're on the front foot to start over again.
Gotcha. So how long has your organization been operating?
Well, the organisation's quite old. We've been going for over 100 years.
Okay.
But I guess we've been bringing suppliers, and our members are public sector engineers and tier 1 infrastructure builders. We've been bringing those members together with suppliers via events and by shows and seminars, but this is, I guess, a move to bring them together, and they happen annually or quarterly, so they're infrequent. But this is a way to bring our members and their suppliers together on an instant basis.
Gotcha. Makes sense of the purpose of the site, and you've done a good job illustrating that. It's really catering to civic solutions like building bridges and things like that. What are some of the?
Yeah, if you look at
go ahead.
Sorry. If you look in the search projects on the right hand side of the menu bar, we've predefined the projects, the most common projects that our members use. So search projects, and we build on that. So if a member, there it shortlists all the different suppliers in an area. Now, because you're not in Australia, you've got a very small list. But if you're in Australia, you would have a display of five in each category.
Let me
if you need more.
I see what you're saying. So what you did is you took the link and made that a main menu link, exactly how it I was just showing with the acupuncture here. It looks like.
So it's a predefined search, and it shortlists all the different suppliers you may need.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've found those suppliers that I mentioned, you can click through on them, and then you can link them to your project, which you've set up on your own what do you call it, dashboard, and then manage those suppliers. So we call it a supplier, as opposed to a CRM. We call it a supplier relationship management tool.
Right. Oh, this is fantastic. What if
we also?
Oh, go ahead.
If you log you'll see, and unfortunately not logged in, but you'll see additional tools come up, which is enabling you to make notes and link. So there's buttons missing and text boxes missing on that page you're seeing because you're not logged in as a member.
Let me quickly log in as a member here. Okay.
If you go to membership level, go to admin.
Admin level. Okay.
Okay.
News desk.
Oh, whatever. Whatever's quickest. Yeah, news desk. Yep.
News desk.
News
okay.
desk. Yep. And then log in as me because I'm the news desk person.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So if you go and do your search by projects again, you'll see my projects on the right hand side. My projects.
Yes, I see these here.
So they're projects I'm working on. I'm using the demo. So you can click through on one of those, or you can set up a new one. But I attach listings to those projects so that I can manage my suppliers very quickly.
Gotcha.
I can make notes.
This looks like a customization. Did you set this up on your own here?
No. Louis Alvarado, who was recommended to us by your organisation, did it all for us.
Absolutely, he's fantastic.
We found him very good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So if you click on one of those suppliers, you'll see the extra buttons and functionality that we've put into the system via Louis. We also, I guess, we had a target of 2,000 unique users a month when we first launched in April. We achieved that in 6 weeks, and we've plateaued a bit now. But I guess we're looking at ways of driving more users. We never expect to have huge volumes because we're not a consumer site. We're more business to business,
right,
and we're very specialised. But the people who use our site spend a lot of money, and therefore suppliers want to be in front of them. And this is a way of getting in front of the people who control significant budgets.
That's fantastic. What was one of the strategies you utilized to get those first members signed up? Was it email marketing, direct mail, networking?
The listers.
Yeah, the listers.
The listings. I guess we started with our own internal list. So as I said, we hold events and conferences. So we started by targeting those people, and then once we sort of exhausted the email invitation, which we did through Mailchimp, and linked back to building directories. Once we exhausted the emails, and we got on the phones and employed people to come in and call people and get them to, I guess, approve to be listed. And we're still going through that process now. So we're growing listings by between 75 and 100 a week.
Fantastic. So you brought up a good mention there, approving the listing. So people are requesting to join, and therefore they're going through some kind of vetting and approval process with you. So you're creating a barrier, a feeling of exclusivity to join your website.
Look, we are, but the truth is, if you supply a product, you're welcome to list on our site for free. There's no cost.
Right.
If you want to upgrade your listing to a premium, then there is a cost, and that gives you the advantages that comes with the system. But we do have included sections within the listing that show our users where the supplier is accredited elsewhere. So we don't run any accreditation, but if they are accredited by other I guess official bodies, then they can flag that on their listing so that suppliers know they're accredited by government purchase agencies.
Gotcha. One thing that caught Patrick and my eye were these user tutorials that you created. These are instructional videos on how people can use the website, correct?
That's right, yes.
Are these getting a lot of views, or are these helping in your conversions and reducing your customer service on the site, your support inquiries?
Yeah, look, they took 3 or 4 days to do. And I don't track how often they're being used, but I do see them pop up in my analytics quite frequently. And the aim is that we're a very small team. We don't have time to we don't have the capacity to go around to all our users or spend a lot of time on the phones teaching people. So this sort of gives people access to what we're about, how to use our system, at a fairly high level. But it is fairly self-explanatory once you're in the system. This just gives you a head start.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think these videos are really nice.
So yeah, I'm glad we did it, and we'll keep doing them as questions come that need to be answered that we haven't got time to answer, I guess, regularly.
And when you worked with the developer, when you worked with Luis, did you have a clear scope for the project, or did it pivot and change as you were working on the project?
No. We put together technical specifications. We knew what we were after. We'd spent a lot of time consulting with people in the industry on what they required. So it was documented, and I think it was fairly clear. I mean, there was a few little chops and changes along the way, but the basic requirements didn't change significantly from the technical specs through to delivery.
That's really important.
We gave Louis some scope when we said this is what we want to achieve. We're not going to tell you how to achieve it, but this is what we want to achieve. And he sort of made it happen, I guess, with his understanding of the system. So he's delivered something that was better than we expected. But certainly the outcomes were documented.
I don't see it enough when people are trying to customize their site or paying for customizations that they've done market research or gained feedback from people. They're just kind of going with their gut and kind of guessing as what needs to be created. So it's really refreshing to hear that you guys did some comprehensive research, both your own with user feedback, and consulting with the developer to create the best product, and also get it executed as quickly as possible. Pat, did you have any feedback or notes that since we were chatting about the site earlier?
Not so much. I thought maybe the only thing that kind of stood out to me that would be easy to add would be that member snapshot on the detailed layouts of the individual posts. But overall, I thought that the website was very well organized. I really like how you organized the search by projects to be to basically take people to the search result page for that particular type of that is a lot easier than going to your search menu, let's say, on your homepage and trying to digest what's available. You've handpicked the most commonly searched for items on your site and made it easy for the end users to find that content.
That's right. And what we've done is we've attached categories to each of those predefined searches, so that we don't have to go through every member and sort of tell them it just finds by category and lists the top 5 closest. And then you can expand that short list to see all the lists in the category if you choose, if you can't find the one you want. So yeah, that was, I guess, that's the differentiation between other sites that exist in Australia, and there are quite a few, but as I said, they're siloed. So you go to one to find heavy equipment, you go to one to find concrete, you go to one to find road laying. But this one sort of pulls everyone together. And I guess because we've got so much in there, we need to keep it organised.
Yeah, I think you've done a great
job. One of the things we do differently if we had our time over again, and I'm not sure we can reverse this, but the structure of the categories. We sort of set up categories from tier 1 down to tier 3. In hindsight, what we should have done is have tier 1 as one category and everything else as tier 2s. So that was a learning mistake for us. We're trying to, work around that. But if we had a time again, we would have structured the categories differently.
Got you. So a member would be able to choose like road construction and parks and recreation.
Those come from multiple different categories anyway, because that searches across categories. But it's more about the inputting of listings. So we've got suppliers who provide A, B, C, and D, and A and B are in one category level, and C and D are in a different category level. So they can't get all their goods and services listed on the one listing.
Gotcha.
So what we should have done, and we learned this after we'd set up, and go backwards after we'd gone live, was that we could have set up a tier 1 which encompasses all our categories beneath it, allowing suppliers or members, I think you call them, to select across different categories.
That's actually pretty common.
On one listing
is being able to set up a single category. Let me find that article and just share it with everyone here in our support center, just in case anyone else is experiencing something similar. Give me one moment. So there are rare occasions where you just want one top level category. Let's see if we can. Yeah, this article here. I think this is the article we have. Is this the article, Pat? I think it is.
I believe that's the one.
All right, I'm just going to share this one. You guys can search the support center also for like setting up one top level category. But this might come in handy for some people who might just be getting started out. Category structure is super important to a site. Sometimes it's very simple, but when you're dealing with thousands or hundreds of category names, you kind of want to make sure you get it right the first time. It's hard to start moving people around once the hierarchy of the categories has been set up. It is possible with access to the MySQL database, but it does become cumbersome to try to reconcile things and move things around after the fact. But Sean, I think you've done a phenomenal job with your site. It's clear what it's for. It's easy to navigate. I don't have too much criticism or advice. It seems like you guys have a great handle on it. I think this is a great example of a site done right, and with the bonus of a customization that you added to your site, which seems to be adding huge value to you and your members.
Yeah. No, look, I guess my comment is that, you know, we had a great base to start from, and the comprehensiveness of this print directory system is impressive. So I guess at a base level, the system was great, but just adding those extra little bits of customization just made it, I guess, more directed to our audience.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are times when you need those customizations. The good news is that it is possible to get them done with the assistance of a developer. So I want to thank you, Sean, for sharing your site with us and allowing us to showcase your site here on Webinar Wednesday.
Pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. All right, guys. Yeah, great site here from Sean. Thank you so much, Sean, for allowing us to showcase your site. It's great to see a nice example here of a site that's growing and sharing some of your strategies with us.